Greetings fellow tank commanders. In this video I'm going to be showing you two games that I played with the FV4202. This is a tier 10 British tech tree medium tank armed with a 105mm cannon. The first game I'm playing is a standard battle on Westfield, with 10 tier 10s on my team, 11 on the enemy team, 2 artillery on the enemy team, and 1 on my own. For this game my tank is equipped with a gun rammer, vertical stabilizer, and improved ventilation, and I'm using my British super crew which has 14 crew skills and perks. An easy shot to start off the game there, finishing off that sacrificial light tank. I'm going to start off the game near the middle of the map, overwatching the open area. Now one of the best parts about this tank is its excellent ridgeline fighting capabilities, which as you can imagine you're not going to see too much of in this position. In previous battles I had been playing a little too aggressive, and the tank was performing decently there, and the way the battles were being played I didn't have enough support to be doing that. So for this game I was looking to change my strategy a little bit, just taking a step back and playing a little more passive to go with the flow of the game. If I had had coated optics instead of improved ventilation equipped on my tank, I would probably be advancing a little more to spot out the enemies along the outside of the map. But thankfully I've got a teammate up at K0 and then a light tank that's moved into this position as well, so my team has some good spotters working here. So at the moment I can just focus on sniping, with a gun that's been handling very well in both sniping situations and on the move. Here I definitely should have switched to my Hesh rounds, but I didn't expect this waffle to just keep sitting there, so I was sticking with my APCR shells for the other targets. Shots like that are all skill, and thanks to the Hesh round I got a little more damage. I decided to not push my luck here. Firing so many consecutive shots from the same position would allow that Death Star to easily read my tracers, and I don't want to get blind shotted by that thing when I'm having such a great start. A good reminder that you can pretty much side scrape with any tank, even if it's just to minimize your profile. This is one of the only crews that I have the Eagle Eye skill, which allows me to see damaged modules on the enemy tanks. It's pretty cool and useful to see that information in battle. I'll have to consider getting that for my American super crew in a year when I finish my 21st skill. I was being a little more cautious here because I didn't want to get shot by the enemies on the K line, but if I had been paying attention, my team's making a strong push over there now, so I definitely could have gotten away with being more aggressive here. Now let's check the post-game stats and see how I did. For this game I earned 44,000 silver without any multipliers and 6,462 experience with a 3x bonus. In this game I dealt 7,266 damage, assisted with 877 damage, and destroyed 4 enemies while blocking 860 damage. This earned me high caliber and a mastery badge first class. I placed at the top of my team, earning a base XP of 1,436. I managed to hit 23 of my 29 shots and penetrate 20 of those. In terms of crew and module damage, I damaged the gun in the Waffenträger E100, damaged the ammunition in the FV4202P, that's the Tier 8 premium version of this tank, and then damaged the engine and turret and injured the driver in the M48 Patton. This second game is a standard battle on Lakeville, with 14 Tier 10s on my team, 11 on the enemy team, 2 artillery on the enemy team, and 1 on my own. I'm using the same equipment and crew, but this time I've conscripted Mixie 360 into arty support. I was not expecting to get shots on both of the enemy artillery right off the start. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to destroy either of them, but Mixie 360 is here to save the day, spending 8,000 silver to deal 51 damage to the SU-14-2. It's definitely not the most satisfying target, but that makes a huge tactical difference for us fighting here. If I was in his place, I'm not sure I could resist all these full hit point targets. So far with this tank, I've had a good amount of shots bounce off my turret, but I'm not basing my whole strategy around it because it's not that tough, and it's got some really nice gun handling so you can roll forwards and backwards on these hills without sacrificing too much accuracy. I am running full gun performance to enhance this, and so far no regrets because this tank has been very enjoyable to use. See here, the first time I actually stop to aim the shot, I take a hit. Great initiative by our T110E5 here to notice that we have an E100 and a Type 5 heavy supporting us. No need to end up in a standoff when you have that much heavy tank support. Great teamwork there. Our team had the heavy tank advantage while the enemy had more tank destroyers, so not getting into a prolonged battle is going to work in our favor. Overall, a great team movement there. Mixie 360 just got a shot there where he splashed 2 Tier 10 tank destroyers for a total of 1,646 damage. That's a little more than the 51 damage hit that he got to finish off the arty. Mixie 360 just took out the M5355, which we left on 6 hit points earlier in the game, so he spent 16,000 silver to deal 57 damage to 2 artillery. And that's the whole reason why you grind for a Tier 10 arty, so you can do US Sexton 1 damage with a 40-second reload. All joking aside though, artillery taking out other artillery is extremely helpful, and is always appreciated. This game has been pretty one-sided, and now there's only 2 Tier 10s to clean up. If I had been driving a little slower, I barely would have had to crest that hill. The gun depression with this tank is just ridiculous and awesome to use. Now let's check the post-game stats and see how we did. For this game I earned 35,000 silver without any multipliers and 6,651 experience with a 3x bonus. In this game I dealt 5,785 damage, assisted with 1,068 damage, and destroyed 3 enemies while blocking 240 damage. This earned me High Caliber, a Mastery Badge First Class, and Confederate Medal. I placed at the top of my team, earning a base XP of 1,478. I managed to hit 20 of my 26 shots and penetrate 16 of those. Bixie360 also had a good game there, especially since he was on artillery cleanup duty, getting 1,019 base XP, dealing 2,832 damage, and destroying 2 enemies. In terms of crew and module damage, I damaged the gun and injured the loader in the Waffenträger Panzer IV, damaged the ammunition in the T110E4, destroyed the viewport on the Chieftain, and damaged the fuel tank and ammunition in the Object 268. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing those games with the FV4202. I've had a pretty good start with this tank so far. It's got a nice specialized ridgeline fighting game style, and the gun handling has made it very enjoyable to use. Stay tuned for more awesome World of Tanks videos.